Hi, I'm Mark Boundy, and I've been noticing that there are companies out there that are being really successful just automating a kind of mindless sales process with scripts and dialing quotas and activity management, dashboards based on activities, not value. And companies seem to be successful at that. I come from a school of thought where a business to business salesperson needs to be a trusted advisor, a valued consultant who has business acumen, is a trusted business advisor, is able to have an executive business conversation. And for a while, I wondered, am I on crazy pills? How does this other approach, this automated salespeople as factory workers, how does that work and why does that work? Because it seems to work quite well for people. So I gave it some thought, and here's my explanation, and here's why I think and where I think each of those approaches might work. How it comes down is in two aspects of the customer's buying process. The customer's buying journey varies it has a couple different aspects to it, two of which I wanted to talk about today. One is how complex is the customer's buying journey. Here it's at this end of this bottom axis, it's fast and simple, right? So it doesn't take very many days and there are very few people. It's not a complex social buying decision. Here, there's lots of people, PPL, lots of people, and it's slow, right? It might be weeks, months, or quarters. And so here's a very complex buying decision. Here's a very simple buying decision. On this axis, it is how comfortable the customer is in their buying decision. We all know that most customers will self-inform before they go out and engage salespeople. And what drives that is how comfortable they are with their buying process. Down here, it might be a commodity or a quantity or a product or service that they are experienced in buying. So this is a repetitive buy, they're very comfortable, or they bought it at a previous job and now they're just coming to a new organization and buying the same thing all over again. So this is very confident. Up here, they're very uncertain, which could be because they perceive a lot of risk. They're unfamiliar with the buying process. It might just simply be because it involves a lot of money. And so even though they might think they're experienced, they're willing to vary, or they're willing to learn more about a buying process. They're willing to change a buying process based on some guidance they get from consultants, content, or salespeople. So here is low confidence, here's high confidence. So down in this corner here, we see a really fast process that the customer understands really well. And so the salesperson here is just kind of, for lack of a better term, a fulfillment specialist, right? The customer is going to buy really quickly and they know exactly what they're going to buy. And in this quadrant of this 2x2, I think that automated factory worker sale, number of dials, just get out in front of the customer and make sure you're there when they're buying, is probably an appropriate approach. Over here, as that buying process slows down, you need to add something, and that is a sales methodology. I worked for a methodology shop for a long time, and what methodology is for that slow, complex buying process where there's lots of people involved and there's probably more criteria, decision criteria involved, different people managing different criteria. It might be different testing and verification. So at this point, the buying process has so many moving parts, even though the customer is very repetitive and is very confident in it, you need to, as a selling organization, be able to have a methodology that mirrors the customer's buying process. And so a methodology is all that you need right here, and just making sure that you stay on top of the customer's buying process. Similarly, when it's fast and simple, but the customer is not very confident in their buying process, at this point, you may not need that methodology that that manages lots of moving parts. Up here, you need to be a trusted expert in their business so that you can help them make a better decision, that you understand their business well enough. So up here, it takes some business acumen, but because it's a fast, simple, you have to be able to harness that business acumen very rapidly to help them make a better decision, help them get some confidence that they're making a great decision. And then up here, this is kind of where I thought everybody was until I had thought through this. And that is when the buying process is complex and the customer is uncertain, now you need both a methodology just to manage all of the complex buying process, all the people involved, but because they're uncertain, you need to be a valued consultant. Both of these two mean you require salespeople to have a lot of business acumen, a lot of understanding of the customer's business so that you can add the perspective, and challenge their idea of that self-informed before how they self-informed before they came to you. You want to be able to challenge their perspective, challenge their idea of what they thought their vision of success was by being a trusted expert or valued consultant. Over here, you need to also add methodology. But here's kind of the thing. Here, if you have some differentiation, say you're more reliable than your competitors, you want to maybe add people to the buying process because that fast, simple buying process didn't include people who face the customer's customer and who are very concerned about reliability. They're field service people, they're sales people, field support, tech support. If your offer is going to make them more reliable and reliability wasn't represented in that buying team, you actually need to slow them down and add people to the buying team. Similarly, if you're down here and they're very comfortable with their buying process, but you've got some differentiation that they hadn't thought of in this, in their high confident buying process. Maybe you're new, maybe what they had bought before didn't incorporate some aspect that you offer, some differentiation that you offer, and you think it might be of value to them. Now you're going to have to slow down and throw in that business acumen, throw in that perspective, that challenging behavior, so that you can continue to use your methodology, but slow them down to the point where you're adjusting their buying process, making them a little bit less confident, and then showing them how you are the one that can solve for that problem that you just introduced to them. So I help clients with that business acumen. I help clients understand when they have differentiation and how they have to move between these different quadrants. So, I live in this area, and when you don't have value or differentiation, I used to sell methodology, and I used to work with companies that needed methodology plus business acumen and value focus. And so now I just sell the value focus. And if you've already got a methodology, I'm happy to work with your methodology and augment yours. Similarly, if you don't have, if you aren't as successful as you'd like to be up here, being a trusted expert, I work with business acumen so that you can quickly be able to do that. And if you want to add some methodology, I can help you find the right methodology for you, or I've got a simple methodology myself. If you just want to use, if you just want to use that. So I hope this was helpful in understanding when it's appropriate to be that highly automated, highly routine, highly scripted sales process. I'm all for automation. I'm all for efficiency in any of these, but if efficiency of the mindless activity, which I always thought it's quantity and not quality. I think that's appropriate right here. And I'm perfectly fine not working with these kind of clients because I don't really have anything of value to offer them. If you're in one of these areas and you're not getting all the mileage you want, I'd love to talk with you and see what we can do together. So thanks for your time. I hope this helped. Call me if you need any help, mark@boundyconsulting.com. Take care.